Yo, Sharik, you hear that?
Why does it make me laugh?
Because that's the point of this episode. It's the comedic approach, and that's how I want to start with 2022. It's our first episode of the year.
I need it.
Okay, so let's laugh.
Don't we all?
Hit it.
Step into the limelight.
Eight. 22, 2022. Welcome, everybody, to Limelight Live Show on the Good News Radio, as well as on LeMayday.com. Of course, you know who we are. We're just, in a new year. I am your girl, Sharik LeMay, and
I'm your boy, J Pink K. You already know what it is. And yes, this episode is the comedic approach. Sharik, I figured we have been bombarded with bad news after bad news after bad news. And I felt like, and while that news is important for us to be aware, I really didn't want to frame the beginning of this year around just that. We are indeed with the Good News Radio, and I wanted to reflect that in this first episode of the year, to reflect that as well. So I was like, why don't we do a comedic approach, right? I want good news. I want something to laugh about, and so that's just kind of what I wanted to set the tone, at least for Limelight Live, with this week's episode.
I'm with it, but this year is interesting.
It is interesting.
I'm a little not somber. I mean, I'm happy. I'm enjoying life. But yeah, this year is off to a start.
An interesting start, to say the least. Yeah. To say the least. Before we get into things, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor. They've been sponsoring us for a while now, and I guess they do. So shout out to D Slaps Beauty Bar. This show is sponsored by D Slaps Beauty Bar. New year, new nails. That's the vibe all 2022. Everyone needs to go down to D Slaps in Torrance to get their nails done the right way. D Slaps Nails is the only place to get spoiled and enjoy some complimentary mimosas while you relax and get catered to. Pull up for a basic mani, pedi, or get really spoiled with their milk bath foot massages. Stop by D Slaps Beauty Bar located in Torrance at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard and get the treatment you deserve.
I'm gonna need to know what kind of milk they're using though.
Right.
I'm 2% confused. Condensed milk?
Is it almond
milk, soy?
Oat? I feel like oat would probably be the best for the skin.
I need to know what you're putting on my feet, but it sounds great. Nonetheless, it's better than what I'm doing on regular basis. So
once again, that's D Slaps Beauty Bar located in Torrance at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard. Ask for Tiana, Mocha, or Kiba and let them know that the Good News Radio / Limelight Live sent you.
Okay.
Ew.
Find out what kind of milk they got.
We have a special guest this episode. Normally we'd introduce our guest later in the episode, but I figured it would be cool to have him on earlier. So I'll do a soft intro right now to a friend of mine, a fellow Marvel nerd, and just an all-up standout guy, Antoine Tate, aka AT. Holla at your
boy. What's up?
Welcome.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Happy 2022.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Right, yeah. But I'm ready to get into these flashlight topics.
Let's get into them. All right, you ready, AT?
Let's go. I'm with.
Okay. Before we get into like the main news, we have to give homage and respect to our fallen creatives. Today, right, was announced Ronnie Spector, lead singer of the Ronettes, iconic singer, passed away. So rest in peace.
The age of 78. Yeah. For those of you little youngins out there don't know or aren't familiar with the Ronettes, you've probably heard Sleigh Ride. They have like a lot of Christmas songs, so I'm sure we heard it all throughout the Christmas holiday. And Be My Baby, I think, is the most popular one. Be my baby. The stuff your granny listened to, or your great granny if you're young enough.
Yeah. Did you know that Zendaya is playing her in a biopic?
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, Zendaya is playing her in a biopic, which was announced. This went into production, or was announced. Production was announced earlier last year. I remember when that news broke.
There's no controversy about that.
What do you mean?
Isn't she like Latina? Am I tripping?
Zendaya? No,
not
Zendaya.
Oh,
Ronnie?
Is she?
No, Ronnie Spector. She's black.
She was like Latina.
No.
My bad.
She might be mixed, but I know she's black.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very fair skinned.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Very.
So yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Ronnie Spector.
The legacy.
And another icon, another legend, Sidney Poitier.
Yeah.
That was this week as well.
Yeah.
He passed. How old was Sidney?
He was in his 90s, 94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Long
life.
He had a good life.
You know?
Yeah. It's just one of those things, like when you just see any images of him speaking, he just the class that he carried with him. He just exuded that. And just, very dignified human being.
Yeah.
And
the
he
doors
did a lot.
he opened for so many people. It's incredible. There was some very touching homage that we saw from Halle Berry, Denzel Washington this year, Will Smith.
Yeah.
People just paying their respect and just letting the world know how much Sidney meant to them and to their careers. So
it kind of had me thinking, like, maybe we didn't deserve him in 2022. Maybe we just out here being ghetto, and he's like, I'm done with y'all.
I'm ready. All right.
I'm ready.
This is enough. It's a pandemic. Y'all don't know how to handle it. Okay.
I'm saying, and then I had put up a post on Twitter and on Facebook, and I'm like, yo, who got eyes on Harry Belafonte? Like, seriously, can we put some bubble wrap around him?
Yes.
Because, that's what we had. We had Harry Belafonte, we had Sidney Poitier. Now somebody let me know where Harry Belafonte is, please. Okay. Because we need him still.
And then, I don't want to make light of it, but this is a comedy episode, and I really wanted to highlight two comedic icons that we lost. Yeah. One at the very end of the year, and then one recently this year. First, of course, is the incredible, Miss Betty White. Oh my goodness.
That ain't fair.
It's not fair. It's not fair. She was so close to
making it to her 100th birthday.
We're just gonna say, how they were doing.
She
on
made
social
it.
Media. Just round up. She was that close. She was 100. She was 100.
She made it.
But Betty White, for one, is incredibly funny, and some of my earliest sitcom memories revolve around the Golden Girls. My mom used to watch that, and I'd be like, "Why is this funny? Why am I a kid and I find this funny?"
Petty and catty.
Yes. Yes, and it's crazy how that show, which was released in the 80s, made such impact, and it's still a part of today's modern conversation.
Yeah,
because I think it just kind of transcends time. And Betty White was our last Golden Girl.
She was the last Golden Girl.
She
was so crazy.
She was. So I want to.
At least she broke the pattern, though.
What pattern?
They all passed away like a year out from each other.
Oh, really?
It was like one, like 09, 10, 11, or was 08, 09, whatever. It was like back to back.
Oh, wow.
Betty broke the curse.
She broke the curse.
And she also was like, F 2020.
Right. Yeah, right. So I had saw this post. I'm going to read it to you guys real quick. And it made me giggle. And I felt good about it. Someone said, Betty White didn't die. No. She grabbed 2021 by the throat and whispered in its ear, "I'm taking you with me, you son of a itch." And then she threw them both into the fire of the mortar to save us all. That's my effing story, and I'm sticking with it.
That's real dramatic. I like it.
I'm just saying. And then what's crazy is I can picture that. Like, all right, I'm out.
I love that story. I'm going with that.
That's what I'm going with. Betty took one for the team. Definitely rest in peace to her. Yes. What I think is really cool too is, let's call a spade a spade. She's an older white lady, and she really resonated with the culture, with people of color. She did some iconic things back in her prime, and even up until the day that she died. She definitely had no qualms about working with anyone and representing anyone. So just hearing all the stories and things that we didn't know about was really inspiring. So it just made me appreciate her even more.
Yeah, I think there was a Twitter thread that I remember reading about in today's world what political parties what the Golden Girls have aligned themselves with. And everybody was saying that Betty's character would definitely have been a liberal who would have fought for the cause and all of that. And so I was like, oh yeah. I love that she just that's how we know her. We don't know her for anything racy or anything just associated with something negative. Like, no, she was she was love, and she loved animals, and she was just a funny woman. And I'm glad that we had her.
And she was Ryan Reynolds' mistress.
Yes,
that was the thing that really they were cute.
Yes,
they were adorable,
and she was friends with Nene Leakes from The Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Was she really?
Yeah. They were friends.
That's
They did a
funny.
special, like a little special thing for Bravo one day, and then I think they just remained friends, which was really,
That's so
really
cool.
cool.
I love
Betty,
that.
she's with it. We love us some Betty.
Betty was one
we
of
do.
us. Rest
Another
in peace.
tragic
Yeah.
loss that we had this week was America's Dad,
Man.
Bob
Oh
Saget.
man, god damn it.
Bob
Okay.
Saget.
This like I really almost shed a tear on this one.
Yeah.
Like this room really hurt because like we said, this is our generation. For those of us born in the 80s that were aware of the 90s, Full House.
Who didn't watch Full House?
Like seriously, TGIF was it.
Yeah.
I feel so sorry for these kids that don't know what TGIF is.
Ooh,
po babies.
the good days.
But other than that, Bob was just America's Funniest Home Videos, you know. And then later in life, I don't know if you guys have ever watched How I Met Your Mother, but that was like one of my favorite shows. Like he's the narrator. He's the older Ted Mosby.
Oh, he's the narrator.
He's the older Ted Mosby.
Wow.
Right?
I did not know that.
Yes, that is Ted. He is Ted Mosby on How I Met Your Mother. So he narrates from beginning to the end, the entire, well, except the last episode. I'm a How I Met Your Mother nerd, but that his voice just resonates and it's so profound. And just this one really hurt. This one really hurt my feelings. And he was happy. He was back on tour. He was doing his comedy.
He was doing his comedy special. He passed away on tour, doing what he loved to do.
Yeah.
Man, it sucks. It really does.
Yeah. And he's also another one where you're seeing just the floodgates of people who you wouldn't even think was connected to him. Like Talib Kweli posted about him. We're like, what?
Yeah.
Like you were hanging out with Bob Saget in the club with cigars. Like Bob was the homie, you know. Miss Pat, who's another dope comedian. She's raunchy, raw, everything, all of that and above. And she had pictures of him at his house at the barbecue, honey. You know, he was just
crazy.
It's crazy. There's so many people whose lives he touched, and like he didn't have to boast about it. He wasn't all over the place. I'm really, really, really sad about this one.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I wanted him to get old, like the old man. Bob Saget.
How old was he?
He was only 65.
Yeah,
like that's
very
our parents' age.
Yeah,
you know,
that's young. Yeah.
So
well, my parents about they're 50, so.
Oh, you had young parents.
And they were young.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
R.I.P. to Bob Saget.
Yes, R.I.P. to Bob Saget.
America's Dad. Go watch How I Met Your Mother if you haven't watched it. Grown folks only.
Yes. Isn't it? And then isn't there a spinoff now?
There's the spinoff is with Hilary Duff, which I'm really excited about,
and I really like her.
Yeah, that one's about to drop like I think next week or something like that. So I'm
on Hulu.
On Hulu. They better do it right.
Yeah, I have all the faith.
I was about to say, do you have faith? Are you looking forward to it or not?
Now I'm really looking forward to it because of Bob. They have to keep up with that esteem. Like it was a really, really good show. I'll take How I Met Your Mother over Friends. And you can at me.
We're not gonna do the friend slander.
No, you can trust me.
Come on,
she said what she said,
and I'm gonna respect that. I'm the guest.
Okay,
I'm gonna respect that.
Okay, let's get into more of these flashlights. Okay, so the Coachella lineup was released this week.
Oh, was it? What is it?
Apparently, it's still happening. So our 3 headliners are Harry Styles, Billie Eilish, and Ye.
Oh, that is a lineup.
Oh, you better you put some respect on Ye's name, huh? You said it the way it's supposed to be said.
I said it. I mean,
nice.
That's what was on the flyer. I mean, okay. Additional artists include Doja Cat, Karol G, Ari Lennox, Megan Thee Stallion, Daniel Caesar, Big Sean, Snow Allegra, City Girls, and so many more. A whole bunch of artists I don't even know.
Child.
Hold up, Doja Cat ain't headlining?
No, she's the second name. After Ye. So no, she's not a headliner.
That is crazy.
But I do think she has headliner potential. Absolutely.
I think she does.
Over Billie Eilish? I mean, I like Billie, but
do you really?
I do like Billie though.
Really?
I like her.
Really?
I do like her.
What's one of your favorite songs?
It don't matter. I like her. I like her.
Okay, I'll believe you.
I like her vibe, I like her swag. I like her.
My thing is, what's gonna happen with Big Sean and Ye being in the same place almost at the same time?
They didn't make up.
No.
Big Sean, he talked about it in one of the podcasts.
Did they make up?
He said he still respects. He's upset about what he said, but I'm pretty sure they'll still be all right. They've seen each other.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they can have a good laugh about it.
A kiki and a ha. Nah, he disrespected Big Sean.
What do y'all think about
OD.
Coachella happening, period?
I think it's disrespectful.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. I don't think it needs to happen. I think, for one, they're shutting everything else down.
Mm-hmm.
Why would this still happen?
Yeah.
Granted, we do have a few months, so hopefully, they're saying we're at our peak right now and things die back down.
I guess
come April.
until the next variant happens.
Yeah. I don't think it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be surprised if a lot of people. Yeah, these kids gonna show up. They're crazy.
They're gonna go.
These kids gonna show up.
They're gonna.
They ain't been outside.
They'll still go even after the whole Astroworld fiasco. They're gonna go to Coachella.
Yeah, and
these
that too. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna be there.
Right.
Does anybody have like crazy fans like that that's on this lineup?
Yeah. Yay. I think Yay does.
And Harry got some fans.
Oh, he does. Yeah, Harry does have
fans
like that. Which he's a headliner. So
okay, I don't know who that is.
He was in New Direction.
Is it?
He was in One Direction.
One Direction. He was
okay. I know who One Direction is.
Yes.
Okay.
And I know we're talking about it later, but he actually is in the cameo for the Eternals at the end.
Aha! Yeah, I do know who that is. Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay.
We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. But yeah.
All right.
But yeah, well, we'll see what happens when Coachella gets closer. But that's the lineup, and check that out.
That's blasphemy.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of something that didn't happen,
but happened,
but didn't happen, the Golden Globes was a secret society gathering, it seems like,
on Twitter.
Yeah, basically, which really sucks because there were some iconic awards that happened. Yeah. And just the fact that it didn't get streamed or anything is shocking, because Golden Globes used to be like the show that we would want to watch because they were a little more lackadaisical. Yeah. They had a little bit more of a comedic approach.
Vulture called it the Zombie Globes this year because it was alive but wasn't.
It was
so like and then there was Vulture also mentioned that the initial reason for it not happening is because, of course, of COVID, but then there was also like the sub reason it didn't happen is because Hollywood in general is kind of doing a soft boycott of this award show because #Golden Globes are white.
Yeah, they have absolutely not a single black person on their voting committee.
Yeah,
which is disgusting.
Yeah,
like how?
So whatever, but alas, I guess it was a pivot, and it still made waves on social media. Particularly, I want to shout out Michaela J. Rodriguez, who made history as not just for the category, but the first trans actress to win a Golden Globe ever.
That's huge.
It's huge.
And it's bittersweet because I would have loved to have seen her have a speech
and have that moment.
That moment. Yeah,
absolutely.
Dang, Golden Globes, I need to get it together.
She won the award for portraying the character Blanca from, of course, the FX series Pose, which, I mean, of course, incredible show. So yeah, shout out to Andrew.
Well, I haven't finished the last season.
You haven't finished?
No.
It's a tearjerker.
I know. That's why I haven't wanted to.
I cried several times.
That's why I didn't want
to.
But I got to prepare myself.
It was beautiful, though.
I believe it.
It was beautiful.
I believe it.
I really do love how they ended.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
it was full circle.
I'll check it out and then I'll call you.
Get that done, girl.
I'll call you. And all of
that was lockdown TV. You should have been had that happen.
But shout out to Michaela J. Rodriguez and everyone who's involved with Pose and everyone who got an award, whether we saw it or not.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Will
Smith won for King Richard.
Yeah.
Best actor.
West Side Story won for musical. Yeah. They won.
I still haven't seen that either.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't seen either.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to see it though.
Exactly. I do want to see it. The actress who plays Anita is a breakout star.
I do like her.
And
anytime someone plays that character is a breakout star.
Yeah.
So
Anita.
I've heard rave reviews about her, so I definitely want to.
Oh yeah, she got next for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I'll tune in.
So yeah, I'll watch it.
Let me know then.
I'll watch it. Okay. Okay. So the Eternals. Was released to Disney Plus this week. Apparently, it had more bad reviews than the initial release in theaters. Why?
Because people are crazy.
What? Dun dun dun.
because they are seriously on this like.
Thank you. Thank you, Kelvin.
Shout out to Kelvin.
You had already done it, so I didn't know.
I don't care.
Okay, my bad.
I don't care. Follow up.
Okay.
I need emphasis.
Okay, cool.
Thank you, Kelvin.
I think people are still like floating on this Spider-Man high right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
But to me, they're not one and the same. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
I really
you just watched it for the
I
first
just watched
time.
it last night, and then when I know I like something, when I find myself on YouTube researching what I just saw.
Okay, good. good.
And I'm like, okay,
good. That's how a real nerd does
That's
it.
what you're supposed to do.
That's how a real nerd does
it.
it.
And then can we do spoiler? I mean, it's been out.
Yeah, no, it's been out. Spoiler.
So, the after credits, when I heard Mahershala Ali's voice, that like, ooh, I was geeked.
Mm-hmm. Did you know that immediately, or you found?
No, I knew. I know his voice, and I knew he was playing Blade.
I knew he was black.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know who it was. It was a black man.
Definitely. Oh, he's from where I'm from, so I keep up.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Bay Area. But yeah, so that really excited me.
Do you want to know why he was there?
Well, what I'm trying to figure out what his involvement with Black Knight is.
So in the comics, they are
okay
storylines.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, what was really cool, Jon Snow and Stark being on the same screen at the same time. I was like, okay, I love this. This is awesome. Okay, I'm nerding out. I'm just nerding out.
Gemma Chan, I think, was a breakout in that. Like, I think she had a really good.
She was
outstanding performance.
She was definitely the heart of the whole movie.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Salma Hayek. I even enjoyed Angelina Jolie.
I did too.
And it was interesting because for once she wasn't like the lead character. She was supporting.
Yeah. And
I think she played her role very, very well. I enjoyed her. Whoever's hating on this movie, I don't know what's wrong with y'all.
And there were also there were some comedic elements to that film too that I thought were very Fastos was funny.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then shout out to the first official like LGBTQ hero. Yeah.
Also the first deaf superhero through Makari, which I loved her character.
Yeah, she was hard.
She was a badass.
Yeah. So I loved it. And then I also loved the little puns that they threw at DC. I thought that was cute. So he's like
laser beams and capes and
he's like, I don't wear a cape. That was kind of cute. I ain't no Superman, no Batman. But no, I think people should just lighten up a little bit and realize they're not one and the same, but there was a good foundation with that movie.
Yes.
I enjoyed it.
I loved
it. Y'all.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Thank you.
That warms my heart.
It took a while, but eventually I ended up liking it. It took a while. I understand why people didn't like it, but I like it. Damn, that's cool.
It's all to the good.
Yes. And for our last flashlight, there has been a potential host announced for the Oscars. So they've been announced, but not announced. So the announcement that a potential host has been found, but not who. So I would like to ask the room, who would you like to see host the show? Usually it is somebody funny.
Yeah.
So who do you think would be good for the job?
I'll throw it to our guest first.
Oh, who I think would be good hosting? I don't even know. I never thought about it. I don't know.
Really? You don't know?
I don't know.
Who do you think would be a good host?
I mean, I don't know if it would be a good host, but the first person popped in my head was Billy Porter.
Okay.
Okay. I ain't saying he the best, but he popped in my head. Put him in the spot.
He would make it a moment for sure.
He'll make it glamorous.
Is Billy funny?
He's sassy.
He's sassy, but is he funny?
I think he can make it. I think he can pull it off. I don't know if people would like it, but I think he can pull it off.
Okay.
Especially if he has like a whole monologue moment where that's all they do is talk crap about people. I think he can have that moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He would read.
He would read for sure.
He would read. Okay. All right.
That's a good one.
All right.
That's
I see
a good
it.
one.
I see it. I see it.
Okay.
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler have hosted in the past, right?
They did Golden Globes.
Okay. So Oscars, who would I like to see host it that I think would do a good job? Come back to me.
Okay.
Come back to me. I want to say somebody. Don't. I want to say somebody that y'all probably wouldn't even think, but I want to hear your.
I mean, I'm still rooting for Kevin Hart.
Okay.
Oh yes.
Definitely still rooting for Kevin Hart.
Yes.
I would love to see Eddie Murphy though.
Okay.
I would love to see Uncle Eddie Murphy come back and just bring the spark back and just make it live again. I think between those two, I would be really happy.
I think Kevin should be number one. I think Kevin should be number one.
I think they should give it to Kevin.
He's good.
He deserved it.
That was my answer actually.
That was yours?
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah. I mean, and then other than that, I mean, if I really wanted to get down and dirty, I'd be like, throw Cat Williams on there. That's my homie.
Cat Williams hosting the Oscars.
That would be hilarious.
Down dirty and random. That is crazy.
That would be funny.
Okay.
I could just picture it now. These people who are unaware would be in for a treat.
Okay.
How would I feel about Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle.
I'm
not a fan of Dave's. I'll be honest.
Oh,
so
okay.
like, I mean,
because the reason controversy, so overall.
Overall, I mean, I've never necessarily found him funny.
Okay.
That's just
I appreciate him for his social commentary as it pertains to the plight of Black people.
I agree.
And I respect what he's done for the culture. And hosting an award show, not so much maybe, because he has a very like dark humor. You know what I mean? I think for something like this, we need someone who's like light and airy and funny. We know they're not going to choose him though with all that controversy. We know that's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Dave is one of the icons.
I think an excellent host because I've seen her host before, and I think she's really good. Regina Hall.
Oh, that's a good one.
I stand for anything that woman does.
I love Regina Hall.
I would support it.
Okay.
I love Regina Hall. And this might be totally left field, but hear me out.
Okay.
I've been a long time fan of hers. America Ferrera.
Interesting.
That is random.
It is kind of random.
Interesting.
But she is very funny. And I just, for me, like I feel like I could see her host this and bring something totally different, totally new. But I love America Ferrera.
I think that would be just a Latino woman in period would be great because they don't really do too many.
I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah. Except what's his name? The Latino comedian.
John Leguizamo?
No, not John Leguizamo. The one that had the show.
Oh, George Lopez.
George Lopez. I think.
Yes.
Like I don't even think has he hosted or anything.
I don't know if
like
he's hosted the Oscars. I think he's hosted some type of award show.
Though.
Yeah.
He's kind of corny.
But I guess he's the corniness works for America as a whole.
Definitely.
But it's never been a woman.
That's true.
So
Whoopi Goldberg has done it.
No, Latinx woman.
Latinx woman, yeah. Whoopi definitely could still slay it too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm all for Whoopi. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have our picks. So we'll see. Y'all want to put some money on it? Do a little wager?
No, because watch it be way off.
I know.
Somebody
out.
And you know what? Call in who would you want to host the Oscars? Call in and ask us. Our number is 323-900-0478. Again, it's 323-900-0478. If you want to just say, oh, I think it should be so and so. Yeah. But yeah, that wraps up our flashlights of
the first one of
2022. Yeah.
Flashing lights.
All right.
I love how we're always on time with it. Like we usually do hit
We do go
the halfway mark.
Yeah. I'm really excited about we're kind of already having conversations about comedy.
Yes.
And the funnies.
Yes, the funnies.
And
that's right.
That's what we need in 2022 with such a drab start to a year.
Yes.
Facts.
So yeah, this episode is the comedic approach. This is our opportunity to talk about comedy in general. I think we'll be able to have some very interesting conversations. We're going to talk about #woke comedy. If that's a thing, is it something that's more, is it hurting the industry? Is it a good thing? Is it censorship? We'll talk about a variety of things, and we'll also highlight our very special guest who now we can do a formal intro. I want to shout out to this guy, Antoine Tate. I'm going to just give you the floor. Let people know who you are, what you do, state your what did
your
you
business.
Yeah,
state your name and your claim.
Your name and your claim.
Okay, so my name is Antoine Tate, aka AT. Being in Hollywood, people always ask you, what do you do? A lot of us are multi-hyphenated people. So I just cut it off. I just say I'm a writer, actor first, then all the other stuff comes afterwards.
Give us all the stuff.
Okay. I'm just giving you the spiel that I get to people. I'm a writer, actor first. But I'm also an entrepreneur, got my own social media marketing business.
Okay.
I'm also an event planner, a host. Got trivia night. He's coming up some of my stuff too.
Yep. Fun times.
Fun times. Yeah, I've been having it, trying to expand and branch out. But yeah, that's kind of just the main things that I do.
Yeah, cool. And then talk to us a little bit about how your career has reflected elements of comedy, because I know you've been on a few projects that were kind of like, and you're actually really funny on social media too. He's hilarious.
He said actually, like you're actually
like,
really.
I didn't know you were funny. Like you kind of funny. Like
you're actually really funny.
I am funny.
But, that means he's genuine.
I
receive it. I'm glad that I can impress you a little bit.
Yeah. But no, you really are. You're entertaining, and you're a funny guy.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you write comedic things? You say you're a writer.
Yeah.
So you do write comedy.
Not for sure. So some of the one of the pilots that I have is definitely a comedy. A lot of the social media skits. That kind of started off with Vine, actually.
Yeah.
But
doing Vine star.
Yeah, I was a Viner. It's old now, but back then I was
non-existent now.
It is, and that's their fault.
How do you feel about that?
I feel like they killed it themselves. They didn't keep up. Like, it started with they started, the Instagram came out with videos, and everybody was like, "Oh, Vine's dead," and then Vine was like, "Hold it, Revine." That's when everybody became famous. And but they didn't keep up. Other things started doing videos, and they just kind of.
Yeah.
I wonder if Mark Zuckerberg was like, "Look,
they didn't innovate.
Here go your check. Come over here," and they said no. And I wonder if Mark Zuckerberg has something to do with it. I blame him for everything. So.
I blame him and Meta. They done bought every goddamn thing.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So yes, he was a Vine star. That's funny.
So then tell us, then, we kind of just touched on it in regards to like woke nature of just the entertainment industry as a whole. Do you find it to be debilitating, so to speak, when it comes to being in the comedic realm, or do you think it's necessary? Or how do you feel about Dave Chappelle, since you asked us?
Okay, well, before I even do that, the question I want to ask is, you say woke comedy, do you mean in a sense of people making comedy that's a little more like commentary like Dave Chappelle, or how people react to it?
I'm saying the reaction. I'm talking about, I didn't say woke comedy, I said woke entertainment. So like the idea of having to be woke or be politically correct, right? Just the notion that you have to be in alignment with that and how it affects comedy. Because comedy, no matter what, is not going to be politically correct. That's why it's funny, So do you think it's fair? Do you think how they're treating Dave Chappelle is fair? Like, how do you feel like you've been stifled at all?
Nah, not myself per se. I think that people are very sensitive.
Yeah.
But I think when you're producing something, you're giving your art. I think you got to be true to who you are. And people are not always going to like that.
Yeah.
So regarding Dave Chappelle, I think from my perspective, a lot of what he said I thought was hilarious. And even if something may be offensive, I can still see the comedy in it, and I can separate and say, "Oh, that was just a joke." I think with Dave Chappelle is that because of his history, especially with trans people, and what he said in the past, I don't think people can really see it as a joke. I think they just feel like that's how he really feels, and I don't know.
He already hit an open wound.
He did.
Yeah,
he did,
yeah.
And so
yeah.
I agree. I agree there. Another element of when I referring to woke comedy is something that I've noticed. Like for example, this new show Abbott Elementary, which is hilarious.
That is a great show.
So funny, and a variety of other projects that are out and stuff. I realized that the writing goes along with feeling PC and poking fun at
PC culture,
like using that as like, we're going to use that as the punchline.
Yeah.
As like, oh, we can't say that anymore, but like making that a funny element. And it's funny because it's not really something that I feel was so prominent before, like when we were growing up in the sitcoms that we watched. But now it's something that's kind of like a underlying theme that you see a lot, especially sitcoms.
Yeah.
Where the comedy is kind of centered around that.
Yeah.
And being woke in essence.
Yeah. I mean, since you mentioned it, shout out to Quinta Brunson, who was the writer and star of Abbott. That's Bae.
I love it. I remember one time when she's working at BuzzFeed.
Okay.
I legit just walked in the building. I was like, yo, so what's up, y'all? Like, y'all hiring? What's up? And then Quinta was over there on the computer just typing away. And I was like, yo, Quinta. And she was like, hey.
Oh, Lord.
I've been loving her ever since.
So you were not one of the people who she talked about who took her on who's never been on a nice date.
No. I don't buy that stuff either. I don't. Large.
Yeah, I wanted to shout her out because she rose to fame on Instagram with her series.
going viral.
Viral. If y'all don't know, she's the one that was like, he got money.
He got money.
A
Lord.
Yeah, money.
Get it all for him.
And this is definitely a different look for her and like a different type of character for her. So yeah, I think you're spot on with that and how they flip it. And it's the office vibes, which I'm always here for. So,
I heard the guy who produced The Office is also producing or like directing her show.
Yes,
that's what I heard. So
yes,
and that makes sense.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
But what do y'all think about comedy that centers, PC talk? It makes it punchline.
I'm kind of over it, to be honest.
Yeah,
like it's really taking away from it. Of course, people may say, "Oh, it's easy for you to say that because you're black, and y'all get to kind of say whatever the hell y'all want." And it's true. Like black comedians have a little bit more range with what they're able to say because we are of the oppressed. And they talk about white people, they talk about whoever. Let a white man get up there and start talking about black people, then it's a problem. But there's a reason for that, and I think that's what we have to realize. Like, we're still struggling, we're still overcoming some of these issues, and from that front I can kind of see where the LGBTQI community were upset with Dave. But at the same token, you have to look at who he is and where he's coming from and his voice. And I don't think he was, to me, this is my own perspective, I don't feel like he was coming for that community. I think he was trying to make notion and make mention of the fact that, hey, here we are, black people, we're still struggling too, because there was a dichotomy at certain points where it seemed as though our voices weren't being heard, yet this community over here, whatever they want, they're getting, and why is that? Why can't we be equal? Why can't it be fair? Why can't I talk about y'all too? And y'all can talk about us. We don't care. It's just, we all have to overcome this struggle first, and let's do it together. That was what I got from it. But I see things from the lens of an African-American woman, so I can't identify with how people feel from that community. So comedy is one of those things where it kind of unveils the truth. Yeah. In a comedic manner. And one of the quotes that I'm probably going to butcher this quote, but somebody had said, or Michael Che. I love Michael Che. He's a little on the raunchy side too. Yeah. He's had some controversial things happen recently. Definitely.
Yeah. He's dope.
He's dope. I think
he also only dates white women. I'll just
that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Bing bong.
It reminds me of the video with Kanye West. That's what on the internet.
Thank you.
You said bing bong.
That's what that was. I thought you were doing your own sound effects.
Yeah. Gotcha. We working on Kelvin, y'all.
Rim shot.
Thank you, Joshua.
It's called a rim
But
shot.
what Michael Che said is, wouldn't you rather laugh at something depressing or be depressed over something that's not? I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
And it's like,
make me understand that sentence.
Like what he said was way more raunchy. I don't want to say exactly what he said, but he was alluding to like sexual abuse. He was like, wouldn't you rather laugh at that or, something that's negative happening and it's negative as opposed to it being happy? Like, wouldn't you rather the opposite? And it's kind of like, I rather laugh at my pain than be in pain in regards to my happiness, kind of thing. Does that make sense?
It's not registering.
There's a lot of words.
It's not registering.
He's basically saying, wouldn't you rather? What comedians do is they take bad situations and they make light of it.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Rather than taking a light situation and making it something negative.
Okay.
Making it something dark.
In what scenario would we make something light negative?
That was just what he
What's
said.
an example?
That's what you gotta ask.
I want to understand and connect.
The bottom line is the fact that we're taking something negative and we're making light of it. We're bringing certain light to it to where we can have an open discussion and have conversation about it, where it doesn't have to debilitate you whenever you bring it up.
Absolutely.
And
I get that. But unfortunately, for some people, it's not that easy.
Agreed.
Things are triggering.
Agreed.
And when trauma is in place, who are we to decide how somebody receives that?
Right. Sure. But does everyone have to receive it the same way?
No.
That's the thing. I think that's where people are failing to really have the proper dialogue. Just because I'm really, really, really hurt about something, I don't want to hear it, doesn't mean I have to set the expectation or set precedents that no one else can laugh at this thing or no one else can overcome it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And we're all individualistic people and our experiences are not monolithic. So me personally, If I'm at a certain point and people are laughing and getting joy and everything else, okay, cool. Would I want to see some KKK dude up there talking about Emmett Till? Absolutely no. But it's just one of those things. Shout out to my little sister that loves to call me while I'm on. She knows.
Cheyenne.
And it rings because she's one of my favorites.
That's funny. You know what? The more you were talking about, I started thinking about how do I receive jokes, right? So I think that what's offensive to me is if I have to second guess a question whether you're joking or not. So if I feel like you're being serious, you dead ass just said something that's disrespectful, but you said in a jokingly manner, I may receive it in a negative way. But if I can tell that it's a joke and it's a damn good joke, I'm gonna laugh at it. Or I might not laugh, but I'll say, that was a good one. Give you a props. So I think a lot of people, sometimes they just don't know how to receive it because they don't know where you actually stand. So if a white man gets up there and say a black joke off the break, I'm like, I don't know. Like, are you racist or was it actually a good joke? But if I know that you're not, then I'll just laugh at it.
Do we think we'll ever get to the point where a white man can get up on stage and make a joke about a black person and it be okay?
I mean, I would say yeah. I mean, people do jokes now. I just don't know if I guess they have to be already accepted in the community. What's the guy's name? Gary? What's his name?
Gary Owen.
Gary Owens. Like, he doesn't go too far, but he makes black jokes, but essentially his jokes typically are also making fun of himself as well.
Yeah.
And he was married to a black woman.
And he's married to a black woman. So
from
he has,
Oakland.
So he got to trade a little line.
But I think even with him, there's still a level of respect that he's shown. Like, he's never, to my knowledge, in any of the work that he's done or his sets or whatever, I've never heard of him using the N-word.
Nah.
Gary,
or anything like that. So I still think that there's a level of respect that he holds. And I also think he shares his experience. Like, a lot of his material was around his experience and with his wife.
Yeah.
And utilizing that, which kind of made an opportunity for him to kind of build a bridge and connect with his audience. But I don't know, a whole run-of-the-mill, has one black friend type of white comedian making jokes about the black community. I don't know. I don't receive it in the same way. I'll be like, where's that coming from?
And I think, like I said, it's because of what the current state of, the world is at this moment. Black people are still oppressed. Black people are still struggling, and we've gone through some horrific traumas that are still, our plight to this day. So I think that's probably why right now we're like, but in 100 years or so, knock on wood, our children's children see everything equally, right? And they don't have the same trauma. We've gotten rid of the generational traumas, and everyone's equal. Black people are still going to be black people. White people are still going to be white people. We're all going to have our cultural differentiators. Hopefully one day we can be at that point. It's not now. For sure. It is not now. It's not now. But I would love to see it. Me, since you mentioned it, if Gary Owen was to get on stage and start talking about, black dudes in their cars, playing their music hella loud or something like that, it wouldn't bother me per se.
Okay.
But if it's just something completely offensive, they like to talk about, black male genitalia a lot. That's probably the only thing that they do talk about. I think that they find fair.
Okay.
And it's okay, but it has to be in alignment with reality, which I think most comedy pretty much touches on, right?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Some fantasy.
Some fantasy. Okay. I want to know what out of the most recent films, what was a movie that came out recently that was absolutely so funny to you? It was just oh, this is hilarious.
I can't think of no one.
No, listen, I can't
hard.
either.
I'm a tough critic.
No,
I won't say this movie it had some funny moments. Was it Don't Look Up?
Yes.
It wasn't a comedy to me, but it had some funny moments.
Satire?
Yeah, it was definitely satire. So I found a lot of it funny though.
It was. I recently watched it and I was like, is this funny? It was funny. I was laughing, but
Jennifer
I was
Lawrence was the funniest
this is dark. And I was like, this could actually happen.
And did you hear a freaking meteor is supposed to be going by us?
So we ain't playing that. Nope.
Let it come. Let it come.
Nope.
I'm over it. Let it come. Go ahead.
But seriously,
The first earthquake we feel, we can just nope.
Okay, so this movie that I thought this movie was really really fun, and it was a Hulu release that came out last year. It's called Vacation Friends.
I was gonna say the one with Lil Rel.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that one was good. And
it
Yvonne
was so funny.
John
was it like
Cena.
Girls Trip funny, or was it?
Yeah,
almost.
Really?
It was pretty funny.
It was
pretty good, and they didn't talk about it at all.
No, they didn't.
At
Like,
first,
no
at
promotion.
first, there was a lot of promo for it.
I saw none.
Yeah,
none.
I saw some promo for it, but then it just kind of like got lost in the shuffle. The I don't know if the actress's name, but the white lady.
Oh yeah, she was hilarious.
She's funny, and she's on that show Search Party, which is going into its 5th and final season this year, which is also a very funny show.
Okay,
where she plays she plays the very very stereotypical millennial.
Okay,
like I mean, but exaggerated. So it's like, oh wow, that is a very millennial thing to say, but the comedy is very revolved around that. And so yeah, I already knew her from that show. When I saw her in this movie, like she's stupid, she's funny.
That was I was thinking of that one, but then since you mentioned it, yeah, Girls Trip was probably one of the most funny movies I've seen in a while.
That's the only one I could think
of. And Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I mean, a few years old now.
Yeah, but I haven't seen anything recently.
No,
nothing recently that tickled my feathers or anything like that.
Okay.
The Kevin Hart series was kind of funny, even though it was kind of dark. It had really funny moments with him and Wesley Snipes.
He wanted to do something a little different.
Yeah, but it still had it.
It worked.
It worked. I enjoyed it.
It worked.
I enjoyed it.
You remember? Okay, do y'all remember the movie She's All That?
Yes.
Yeah, it was a romantic comedy. Did y'all know that a He's All That came out last year?
I know.
On
Netflix.
Netflix.
With the guy from Cobra Kai.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And then Rachel Leigh Cook was actually in the film too. I didn't see it, but
as the same role, or
but this film was about her daughter, and they were gonna give a guy a makeover because her daughter was
that's so stupid. The guy is actually still good looking. How you gonna make over someone that's already pretty?
I personally, I'm tired of these reboots. I said what I said.
Yeah, it was stupid.
I said what I said. And speaking of reboots, for those of you who saw the trailer for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air series has been dropped, and some people are kind of giving some mixed reviews. Like, we don't want serious Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know, we like the funny.
I was talking to my friend, and I was like, "Why is Carlton so mean? Relax."
Carlton was kind of mean though in the beginning. If you watch the first,
he was, but he was still funny, and
he was stuck up
because of the dramatic element of this reboot of this show. It's really like, okay, lighten up, Carlton, back up,
and he looks like he's in his like late 30s. He
did give us a little older. I was like, he's not giving high school.
No.
I will say I am excited for the show because there are so many Black creatives that are a part of this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of like, well, we knew the Fresh Prince is a funny thing, and it still added to the culture. But I'm interested to see what's gonna come of it.
So did y'all not know it was coming?
I knew it was coming.
I'm about to say, because I feel like a lot of people were caught off guard, but I'm like, a year or two ago, we had a trailer that was phenomenal.
Right.
Yeah, I remember the concept trailer.
Yeah, it was great. So that's what that's where it kind of came from. So
what do you think about it?
So I saw like a 1-minute trailer, and I thought it did not do it justice. I was like, this is whack. But then I saw a 3-minute trailer, and I was like, you know what? I see where they're going with this.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a chance.
Okay.
The casting is now doesn't really settle well with me, but I'm gonna give it a chance.
What I'm trying to do is imagine it from the reverse, right? You know how usually you have a realistic movie or a book or something like that, and then later on they come out with a show and then it's more comical or whatever. I'm kind of looking at it like this: like, what if this was the real life origin story? Okay. How would people really look? You know? And when I put that lens on, I'm like, okay, well, maybe they really would look like this. Maybe, because let's be honest, okay, Hillary was hella light skinned. Viv was dark. I don't know where they got Ashley with all that hair. Like, it wasn't, it wasn't a realistic depiction of what we may have really seen in Bel-Air in terms of a Black family, how a Black family looks. And then of course they were all to the extreme. Hillary was hella extremely bimbo. I don't think, well, I hope nobody is really like that in real life. And then, there's just it was sitcom.
Yeah.
You know, so I think with this, we're putting a more realistic approach on it.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people even talk about the episode where Carlton went and got a gun or something like that. Like people hated that episode because it was just kind of like mad corny. Maybe we can see this
play out in a
more
way that
realistic
makes
version.
sense. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So
But
I'm with it. I'm tuning in.
I'm about to say me too. But I will say is that, like you said, you don't like reboots. But you know, if they have rebooted and made it another sitcom, I feel like they may have gotten more controversy as well because
it would have been horrible.
Yeah. So I'm actually I appreciate the fact that it's a different time, different kind of cone.
Yeah. I mean, can you see them doing something like that for Martin?
If it ain't the original, no.
No, it doesn't.
Could they do a Martin?
I don't think it needs.
Maybe
it.
they could.
As a drama?
Because somebody had actually posted something like, you know how we have the Insecure, we have the Harlem, we have all of these Black women friend shows coming out. They're like, okay, where are the Black male friend shows? You know, and Martin was really about him and his boys and Gina.
Isn't that show Brothers?
Brothers in Atlanta. They're like
that's not on BET.
Oh, and we got there's Woke and then there's Atlanta.
I said
ATL.
I did say ATL.
Yeah. One of my favorite
Atlanta,
shows.
yeah. And that's coming back. But I mean, I don't know. Like I'm throwing it out there.
Okay, you know what? It's not that far fetched. I think there might be a concept there.
There could be.
I think there.
And
might
then you
be
got the Jamie Foxx show.
Yeah.
I mean, I can just go on and on and on. Can you see these?
A dramatic Wayne's Brothers show.
I was about to say
would be good.
I don't even want that. I just want to give them one more season to finish it off.
Yes.
Like, give one more
Without
season
Pops?
to finish it off.
That's all they wanted.
Without
Just the final
Pops,
season.
though?
Oh,
damn,
damn.
right.
We can't do it without Pops.
You're right. Never mind.
All right. Yeah.
R.I.P. to John Witherspoon.
That's the womp womp womp.
Dang it, Sharik.
Let's talk comedy specials. Have you seen any
I'm
that that have come out recently that you thought were good? I know we spoke about Abbott Elementary earlier, but the actress who plays the principal on that show, her name is Janelle James. She has a comedy special on Netflix now. She is so funny. Hilarious. So funny. Please check that out.
So I only saw like someone posted on Twitter about the show.
The
a clip. Yeah. With the kid. Well, he's not a kid anymore, but that played Chris Rock. Yeah, he was supposed to be the principal, and then he said he never got the job. Like I don't know what happened, and then they pan to her. She's like, I just knew some gossip about this guy, and I just got the job.
Yeah, yeah. No,
what's that on? What's that?
That's Abbott Elementary.
What's that on though? Like, where is it on?
Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
Yeah, because I've been looking for it. I couldn't find it. I could just searched it. But,
Yep, check that out.
Okay, I'm gonna check that out.
Janelle James
specials.
And then Aida Rodriguez on HBO Max, her comedy special Fighting Words is really funny. If people don't know who I'm talking about, Tiffany Haddish had her on her comedy special.
She ready?
Yeah, she was one of the comedians on that. But Aida is really funny. She's a Dominican comedian, and I love her. Her comedy special on HBO Max called Fighting Words is really funny.
Okay, I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other than Michael Che. I thought Michael Che's was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then Netflix just came out with their new comedy special where they feature multiple comedians each episode. Yeah,
I saw the one with
the first guy was hilarious.
What was his name?
The black dude.
Yes, that's all. He was pretty great. I know his last name is.
He was funny.
Simpson. I think?
He was awesome. And then they had like this country guy, and this is why I said that. This like he was very like. He was a country bumpkin, but his style of comedy and how he kind of talked about himself and his culture, it was hilarious. So yeah, that was a good one I watched recently on Netflix.
Okay.
Thanks.
No.
Nope. Oh,
I gotta be in a certain mood to want to watch a stand-up comedy.
I feel you.
It's so much stuff on TV. I'm catching up. I can't keep up.
It is a lot. There's a lot. There's like
alone.
content overload. I think a little bit. But
I get overwhelmed. I go back to stuff I've watched like a million times. Like,
but sometimes we need that.
Yeah, I was watching Friends again. I was watching Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec.
Watch How I Met Your Mother, okay?
So like I say, I was watching good shows and.
Kelvin.
You can turn off your mic now, Kelvin.
Have you even tried to watch? Have you watched?
I've seen it here and there.
From the
It looks funny.
From the beginning.
Yeah, it is. I've never even attempted to.
You have to attempt.
You know what turns me off to it? It's because it was on CBS, and I never think their shows are funny, so I just stay away. Except Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody I put on How I Met Your Mother was like, oh,
you had to put them on it. That was a popular show. They didn't know about it.
For black people, we did not know about it.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, black people did not watch How I Met Your Mother. And then, you had your friends, people. I had to be like, come on over here to the bright side. It was hilarious.
I'm gonna be real with you. There was like a whole few years. I didn't know they were still doing like sitcoms. I did not know. I was like, what was it? Was it Mom? Something like that.
Oh, Mom. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mom.
Oh,
I
had no idea.
I never kept up with that show,
it.
but that's a funny one.
Oh, you know who I do watch? I mentioned her earlier, Miss Pat's show.
Yeah,
I am not downloading BT Plus.
she's on Netflix.
It's on Amazon and everything too. But her actual sitcom.
Oh,
She has an actual sitcom. Hilarious.
yeah.
Hilarious. I like, and she's raunchy. She's a mom. Like the way she hems up her kids is like real life. So
Tammy Roman's on it.
Yeah, Tammy's funny on the show. Like I think Miss Pack, she probably got next. She's hilarious. I love her.
Okay.
But it is on BET Plus, right?
It is on BET Plus.
Oh, it's not. I thought it was on Netflix.
It's on BET Plus.
Oh,
it allows them to be a little more like saying raunchy, like her.
Yeah, which I was completely shocked. I heard some F-bombs and some other stuff, and she says some very controversial things on her show.
You got excited?
I did, because I want to talk about this.
What?
Since talking about sitcoms, I can't forget the name on Netflix. With Kim Fields. And was it Mike Epps?
Oh, that one was.
I know what you're talking about.
That's one of the movies thing I thought was hilarious.
I
can't think of the name right now, and I should.
I'll tell you right now.
Wanda
the
Sykes.
Upshaws.
Wanda was hilarious.
I love.
That was a great one.
That's one of the few things this past year that I absolutely
loved. The nephew was so fun.
I don't even remember.
Oh no, it was the older son, and he's gay.
What I think is a trip though is that people don't talk about Mike Epps. I think the way that they should.
They don't.
I think his comedy specials, like to me, he's funnier than Kevin Hart.
Okay,
easily. I'll stand on that firmly. His stand up always had me like dying. But yeah, I think he doesn't get a lot of respect. And then coincidentally, his show came out around the same time as Jamie Foxx's, which was horrible.
Oh, absolutely. Heard it was trash.
It was horrible. Jamie Foxx's show
with his daughter.
With his daughter, the one about
him
being a dad. Yeah.
You get 30 seconds on social media. Okay. And he failed at 30 seconds.
It was
dang.
It was bad.
But
Jamie's funny, but I think he has a certain element. And I think when certain celebrities perhaps get to a certain level, they just kind of lose their funny a little bit. I don't know.
That's the thing about Mike Epps. I don't think he's famous, but he hasn't reached that peak mainstream level. And I was hoping that when he was going to do the Richard Pryor bio,
he's not doing it anymore.
No, I don't think it's happening no more.
They shelved
it.
Yeah, they shelved it.
No way.
I was rooting for. That would have been his moment.
I think didn't Richard Pryor like actually selected him?
That I heard.
I remember hearing him before he passed. Obviously, said that he had selected him. Like I want him to play me.
But if you didn't know that, Mike Epps looks like he would have bodied that.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I thought that was still happening.
I don't think it is.
Oh, that just.
I didn't know.
Dang you!
I didn't
2022 and 2021 and whatever.
I didn't.
I blame COVID.
Yeah, COVID. Hopefully, COVID doesn't put a damper on this event. So, have you heard about Netflix is a Joke? The comedy festival that's happening here in LA. Which
I just thought that was a handle.
No,
it's real.
It's a festival, and it's like, and it's not. There's not like one main event or one main night, but it's basically a series of like the biggest top comedians that we know all across LA at multiple venues having shows like daily.
I think
daily. I mean, like we've got Kevin Hart, you've got Jane Fonda, there's Tina Fey, there's all. I mean, you big names in comedy.
Jane Fonda.
Yes,
she do stand up comedy.
Yes, and her show sold out in minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted to go.
It must be a one-woman show. Her just talking shit about life.
Maybe, I don't know.
But is that what you're trying to say?
She looks good. I went to the Oscars once. Jane Fonda looked amazing.
Shout out to Jane Fonda.
Yeah, I love Jane Fonda. Check that out if you're in the LA area. Netflix is a jokefest.com, and you can get tickets for individual shows. There's not a pass that you can purchase for every show. It's literally it's individualized. So yeah, but it's kind of like the best access to a lot of the comedians that you might have never seen live before.
At first, I thought you were talking about a Coachella for comedians. I was like, how that's gonna look?
Yeah, no,
that'd have been dope though.
That would have been dope. I like that concept. Let me go ahead
and put that in my notes.
Do holograms for comedians.
Yeah,
listen, NFTs. NFT concert.
A comedic.
I do really quick want to give a shout out to a couple of female comedians who, maybe not as recently. One of them not as recently. But Amy Schumer, I watched her documentary the other night, where she was putting together her comedy special, and her whole stand-up was pretty much based around her pregnancy and what she went through and her trials and tribulations, and showed just the strength that because I was never really a fan of hers per se and her style of comedy, but I think she's just like a naturally funny person, which I think doesn't always translate well for everyone. She's just a naturally funny person, and then when she gets on stage, sometimes she kind of misses for me. But I really appreciated her being very vulnerable and showing how she pushed through, and she still had her comedy special, while she was going through what she was going through during her pregnancy.
Well, she wasn't the first to do that.
No, Ali Wong.
Ali Wong.
I was going to mention.
I was about to bring her up.
She did it twice.
Killed it. Yo. Ali Wong killed it. I think she shitted on Amy Schumer, if you want to look at body to body.
Right.
But yeah, and that's what I was going to say. I forgot her movie. Always Be My Maybe that came out a couple years ago. It was really good too. Funny. Yeah, so shout out to Ali Wong.
I like Ali Wong.
Love her.
That's my girl. Well, a couple of comedy items that are coming out. Well, they're actually sequels that I just wanted to shout out real quick. Legally Blonde 3 is coming out this year.
Really?
No.
Hold on.
Listen, it is coming out this year. No.
I love Reese. She's on the streak right now. She's winning right now.
I'm not here for it.
No. I believe it. Okay, cool.
Why?
I won't watch it either.
And then another funny film, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is coming out this year.
Yep. I'm here for this.
Which was funny. I loved it. Knuckles. And then I am very, very, very excited for this. Hocus Pocus 2 comes out.
Finally.
I'm here for it.
Finally. They heard us.
So yeah.
They heard us. We've been complaining for 20
the
years.
The same cast.
So Sarah Jessica Parker,
Bette Midler.
Okay.
Yeah, they are reprising their roles. Yes, the other one I forget.
the one from Sister Act.
Yes, her.
That can sing.
But that's coming out this year.
Peggy Hill's voice.
Nia was the name. I know her. I used to know her name.
Oh, we're getting another Sister Act also.
Yes,
keep in mind.
We are.
Yeah.
We are. I don't think that's coming out this year, but it is in production this year.
Is it Disney Plus?
More than likely, huh?
I believe. Actually, yes, I believe so. It is
Kathy. Kathy, that's her name. Kathy.
I
was trying over here.
The last name starts with an
N. Nia Jima.
Yes.
Yeah. She does the voice of Peggy Hill.
Oh.
Yeah.
So okay. Kathy's name.
Okay. That's good. Well, we're going to get out of here and enjoy the rest of our 2022. But before we do, I wanted to give our special guest a chance to let everybody know where they can find you.
Oh,
what you have coming up next.
Got you. So you can find me on all social medias under @ITSATS World. It's AT's World. My website is www.atsworldmedia.com. You can look out for my trivia nights that are now being rebranded as Trivial as Fuck. So look out for that because it's going to be popping.
Trivial AF.
Y'all got cash prizes?
Eventually.
Okay. All right. Let me know when that happens.
It's a fun thing. I've been a couple times.
Actually, yeah, kill it. Yeah. Trivia. I'm good with trivia. I'll come. I'm with it.
It's a fun time.
That sounds really awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here and shooting the John with us.
Yeah.
While we get through this 2022 as slowly and as easily as it can be.
And of course, I do need to give one more shout out to our sponsor. Thank you, D-Slaps Beauty Bar, for sponsoring this episode. Remember, not only do they offer manicures and pedicures, but you can also get facials, body sculpting, full body massages, and foot massages. Located in Torrance, California at 24401 Hawthorne Boulevard. Make sure to ask for Tiana, Mocha, or Kiba. And let them know that Limelight Live sent you from the Good News Radio.
Yes, so we can get our discount.
Okay. Period.
And then make sure you guys are following us at Limelight Live Show. Please make sure you are also following at the Good News Radio and TGN Talk, as well as Limelight, and follow us.
Yeah.
Follow us. I think we're pretty cool.
We're cool.
We have good content and whatnot.
Yeah.
So but thank you guys. And let's peace and blessings to this 2022.
And laugh a little.
Laugh and enjoy.
Laugh a little.
We'll see y'all next time.
Take us out with some laughs, Calvin.
Bye.
Bye.